Oh, the other thing is with bowls, when you pack a pipe, if you buy an expensive pipe and you're enjoying and you love that pipe, don't pack it all the way to the top. Just pack it, like 3/4 of the way. Then you won't be burning the rim and so forth. Pipes have a resale value. Okay, if you're not aware of that, let me tell you they do, big time. So, and the general rule of thumb there is half of what you paid for it. Another key thing, we're almost done here. Another key thing is, while you're smoking your pipe, use a pipe cleaner. If you got a gurgle in there, if you're getting a bite from what's in there and so forth, that's why you have a pipe cleaner. It's not just for when you're done. It's while you're smoking. I on average, and I'm talking 48 years of smoking, I on average use 3 pipe cleaners per bowl that I smoke, on average, okay? It's just a good thing, good practice to get into. Also, it keeps your pipe cleaner. Okay, and then the other thing, I talked to Ron about this earlier and a couple things, but to clean your pipe, the best thing you can use to clean your pipe is whatever your favorite drink is. Okay, so if you like brandy or you like bourbon or you like scotch, stick your pipe cleaner in there, run it through your stem, and it'll keep your pipe, and you can use it in the bowl too, and it'll keep it clean. That's all you need. You don't need this this 151 alcohol and all that stuff. It isn't necessary. Just normal brandy or something like that will make your pipe sweet and smoke better. So that's it. I hope I helped a little bit here. Go ahead.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with not filling your pipe up? A lot of times I'll go halfway, sometimes even less if I'm on a quick break.
No, I think that's very good for your pipe. It's good. It's because it's gonna help your cake, and it's also going to. You bring up I'm glad you asked the question, because another part of filling your pipe only halfway. We all should be smoking our pipe to the bottom of our bowl, always, no matter how bad it is. That bottom of that bowl should be burned all the way down. And if you do that, then you will have a cooler pipe and a sweeter pipe. So that's a very good thing to do. And especially if you're having a puff on your break or something, it's excellent. And there's no problem with leaving tobacco in there as long as you smoke it, later on and smoke it out. Don't knock out a full bowl though, or a half bowl. I mean, smoke it. Smoke it to the bottom of the bowl. Any other questions? Yeah.
Actually, more of a comment. You mentioned earlier about the spacing between the canyon and the inside where you drill the hole being so tight. We're seeing now pipe is coming into us. They can't push the bits in all the way because they're so tight that the tolerances are so close that just a little goop gets behind it. You can't put the pipe bit in all the way.
Excellent point. And did everybody hear that? Okay, what he's saying is that he's seeing pipes that come in that they're, because of this gap thing that we talked about, everybody's so panicked about this gap thing because it was created by our gurus out there. And they're so tight that when they get a little bit of gunk in there, from smoking a pipe like we're all used to, whatever you want to call it, even or a flake of tobacco, you can't get the bit in all the way. I'm going to tell you something else. I think you should allow the thickness of a dime, maybe a nickel. Some of mine might be a nickel. I like cake. Cake is good. You don't want to overdo it though, because if you overdo it, you can actually crack the bowl. But a good rule of thumb is a dime. Okay.
To keep it to that point, what do you do to...
Okay, to keep it to that point, you buy a reamer. Okay, so go to Jim and buy a Savinelli reamer. That's the best reamer. It's got 3 sides to it, and you just scrape it around it. I kid you not, they are the best reamer there is out there. Or there's another one called a British Butner, which is good too, but doesn't work in all pipes. So.
When I first started pipe smoking, I was told on a new pipe.
So I mean, because that's once you get a nice cake in the pipe, now you're smoking in heaven, man. You know, that's what really makes a good smoke.
Dunhill says to use a little bit of honey.
Yeah, do Dunhills use honey? You're saying?
No, I'm saying that in his book he talks about putting a little bit of honey on the inside of the ball before you first smoke to.
Okay, the question is whether to put honey inside the bowl. I think it's fine if you want to. I mean, it will cause a cake. I mean, it will help to cause a cake, and it'll be a little bit faster than alcohol would or something. But the other thing about honey is it burns, and it can be a little rugged. Pardon?
It'll get like peanut brittle?
It gets like peanut brittle, yeah. Yeah, if you're going to put honey in, just to make it very thin, and actually I would cut it with alcohol and then put it in that way.
Back in the late 50s, early 60s, there was a pipe maker downtown Cleveland, and he used to put a little bit of honey around it, and then fill the bowl with tobacco dust, and then shake it out.
Yeah.
And that gave a great cake to start with.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of little tricks with it. You know, we used to have, years ago, we used to have something called Insti-Cake. I don't think we still have them. But is it still around? But you know, the coatings that you've got now, not all of these are coated, but the coating that you got, when you take a look at these, feel that coating. I mean, you don't need the Insta-Cake anymore. I mean, it took me years to be convinced that coating was really good, because I figured it was just used mostly to hide things. But it really works well. It really does work well on a pipe. You can smoke a pipe and it's good from the first drop. So, yeah.
What is happening if you notice that you're getting a cake developing, but then there are parts of the cake that are breaking off? Mm-hmm. So you have like these openings in the cake.
Yeah.
What is that causing that?
Well, two things. You probably it's because the cake wasn't tamped right. Okay, so you probably didn't tamp it right. And the other thing is the bowl's getting hot in certain places, and that's what's causing the cake to crack a little bit. So, you know, or it could be that it's too thick. So those would be the three things I would say. And what you want to do is don't worry about it. I mean, it's, you know, but get in there with a reamer and just smooth it out. You know, when you ream, just be careful that you don't take too much out. You know, that's what you wanted, was you wanted your cake in there. So, and the more you ream and the more you re-smoke then after, the harder that cake is going to get. And then pretty soon you won't even have to think about it. Just ream it and it'll be fine. So, anything else, guys, gals?
Coating. What type of coating do you use?
What type of coating do I use is the question. Well, it's all food grade, I can tell you that. You could eat it. You don't want to eat it, but you could eat it. There's water glass. The reason I say food grade is water glass is a chemical, and water glass has been used for years. And again, it's just as thin as any stain you would put in there. And I personally believe it's just more to hide what may be a little defect. I'm not saying there's something wrong with the bowl, but it doesn't look so pretty because maybe it's got a zit in there or something, you know. And so I think that's more what it's used for. It really doesn't have any effect, I don't think. That's my opinion. It's too thin. Food grade is basically it's a proprietary coating, but that's what it is. Like I say, you could if you wanted to, but you don't want to eat anything that's in there. There's no chemical at all, none. So, and it's very hard, let me tell you. You really can't even get it out once it sits in there. It's very hard. So you got a great cake right away. Anything else? Okay, remember it's perrywhitepipes.com. So, I don't know if I said this, but my new pipes up here, which are mostly on this end, that are Robert Rose, it's called, are at introductory prices. So this is the lowest price you're going to see on them, let alone the fact that you get 10% off of that price tonight, okay? So, and again, feel free to come up and handle them and do, you know, take a good look.